Yo, what's up guys, Jason's here back with another video. As promised yesterday, today we'll be reacting to 10 Philadelphia 76ers trade rumors proposed on TradeEmbiid.com. Last time I did the Golden State Warriors video, you guys seems to love it, so I decided to do this for the entire 32 teams, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that in the future. And with that being said, let's roll the intro.
Hi. I'm on my match in the dark. 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 I'm on my match.
Alright y'all, enough talking, let's just jump right into the list. So, let's say the first one we got is with the Denver Nuggets. So the Sixers will get Will Burton, Garrett Harris, and the Nuggets will get Al Horford, Mike Scott, and a 2020 first round picks. Now, if I'm the Sixers, I will pull this trade, because obviously the Al Horford contract is absolutely overpaid. I mean, Mike Scott is solid, but if we can get Garrett Harris and Will Barton, two starting caliber player, I mean, this is a super solid trade for the Sixers. Plus, the contract for Will Barton and Garrett Harris are cost friendly, which means the Sixers will have some wiggle room if they want to make some other moves. And the first round picks also adds more future. And I think this year, because the Sixers are lacking for a shooter and the guards are really deep in this draft, I believe, so Sixers can once again use that as a great opportunity to improve their roster. And let's see, for the next one we got is with the Pacers. So the Sixers will get Jeremy Lamb, Victor Oladipo, Doug McDermott, and Pacers will get Josh Richardson, Al Horford, and also a 2020 first round picks. Now Al Horford seems like a big hot topic because obviously he's aging, the contract is not worth it. So let's see, Victor Oladipo, that's something that I'm really interested to see, because let's say they don't trade with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, Oladipo can be the one at the shooting guard, because the Sixers, the three-point threat for the Sixers are absolutely horrible, and I believe Victor Oladipo can be that one. Plus, he has only 1 year left on his contract, so just say he played horrible, because we all know he had a major injury. The Sixers will not have to pay his money anyway. And for Doug McDermott, once again, solid three-point shooter, and I think he's really solid for, you know, fast basketball or slow basketball, which means the Sixers can have a lot of flexibility in between. Jeremy Lamb, I mean, solid role bench player, and this year with the Sixers, he's still able to create some value, so I think that's something the Sixers can really utilize. And Josh Richardson to the Pacers, not really key metrics or key factor in this trade, I think is just to make the salary work. And Al Horford, it's a kind of conflict because I believe his playing style is a little bit similar to Miles Turner. So if the Sixers will do this, I would say yes, but if I'm the Pacers, I would say no. Alright, let's keep it rolling with the Celtics. So the Celtics get Joel Embiid, and the Sixers get Jaylen Brown, Gordon Hayward, 2 first round pick, the number 14th pick this year's draft, the final lottery pick, and also a 2026 second round pick. I will do this trade. I mean, yeah, I will do this trade because I think Jaylen Brown is developing into one of the best shooting guard or small forward in the league, can play both offense and defense. Gordon Hayward, that contract is a little bit overpaid, and he is not the Gordon Hayward back in Utah Jazz. So I mean, that's something we might want to consider. Plus, he has one more year left, so which means if we let him walk away, then it's pretty much swapping Joel Embiid for Jaylen Brown some picks, which is not really valuable. But in terms of pick, the 14th pick, that can be something valuable or not, because if they trade away Joel Embiid, they will want to take a center, and obviously at 14th pick, James Wiseman will not be available, and Okongwu will also not be available. So I mean, if they want to use this pick to get a smaller size player, and getting Jaylen Brown and Gordon Hayward, I think that this might transfer the Sixers offense to a much faster pace, because last year we can see Ben Simmons want to play fast, but Joel Embiid wants to play slow, so this can probably change the offensive scheme for the Sixers. Plus, they got Doc Rivers, which I feel like focus heavily on defense, but with this roster, everything's possible. So for this trade for the Sixers, I would say yes, without a doubt. And let's see. Ooh, there's some nice trades with the Nets. So the Sixers get Spencer Dinwiddie, and the Nets will get Josh Richardson in the 2020 second round pick. Once again, I will say yes for this trade. Spencer Dinwiddie, absolutely talented guards, and I feel like he is kind of wasting talent in Brooklyn because they got Kyrie Irving and a bunch of other guards. So this trade, great. Love to see this happen. And for the Nets, they might say no because Josh Richardson, he is a little bit smaller to play forward, which means once again the Nets guards depth chart will be stacked once again. And that second round pick, I mean, it isn't really a big factor, but for the Sixers, this will be a steal. Spencer Dinwiddie can be a core general, so he can lead the second unit, or he can also just play the shooting guard off ball. And this year we can see his 3-point shooting percentage is getting higher and higher, so that's something that the Sixers can rely on if they want to actually make this trade happen. With the Magics, so the Magics will get Al Horford and a 2020 first round pick. The Sixers will get Markelle Fultz, the man is back, and Terrence Ross. This trade I will say no, because Markelle Fultz, he isn't the first round, like the number one overall pick anymore. I wouldn't say he's a bust, but he's on the verge of that. And Terrence Ross is really solid role player, plays small forward. And this year in the playoff, we can see he's really versatile against the Bucks. And the Magic, they will get Al Horford. That's something I'm really wondering why they will do that, because that means they will probably use Nikola Vucevic differently, or even trade him away, because these two players are pretty much the same. They can shoot threes, shoot mid-range, dominating the paint. So if I'm the Sixers, I will say no, but if I'm the Magic, I will say no as well to this trade. I wouldn't want it to happen, but the idea is pretty nice, honestly. Alright, let's get it rolling with the Thunder. So the Sixers get Chris Paul and a 2021 second round pick, and the Thunder will get Shake Milton, Tobias Harris, Mike Scott, and a 2020 first round pick. That can be interesting because Tobias Harris and Chris Paul's contract are massive. For the Sixers, I will not do this because we have to pay Ben Simmons really soon, and we also have a huge contract on Joel Embiid. I believe it's around $28 million. And if we add up Chris Paul, which is $41.3 million, the cap space is pretty much locked up. And we don't want to face the same situation like this year because the starting lineup for the Sixers are absolutely amazing. They had Ben Simmons, they had Tobias Harris, they have Josh Richardson, they have Joel Embiid, and they have Horford. And if we get Chris Paul, then there will be Chris Paul, Ben Simmons, Al Horford, and Joel Embiid. But the problem of that is Chris Paul is like a core general. He wants the ball in his hand. That applies to a Ben Simmons as well, so there can be a conflict. Plus, I don't feel like it's worth it to send away Tobias Harris, which I think is a solid player, even though his contract is overpaid, and a key role player Mike Scott, to simply get a player that's kind of repetitive compared to Ben Simmons. So this trade, I will not do it. But if I'm the Thunders, I will do it. Ooh, with the Houston Rockets. So the Rockets get Joel Embiid. Now I feel like Joel Embiid is a hot topic this summer, even though the Sixers front office said they will not trade Joel Embiid, but everything happening in the NBA, so let's see what this trade is about. The Sixers will get Eric Gordon, Austin Rivers, and Robert Covington. Ooh, this can be interesting. Say if this actually happened, then the Rockets will have a big three of James Harden, Joel Embiid, and Russell Westbrook. But the problem is they all need the ball in the hands to perform well, because from this year's playoffs we can see when the Rockets let Russell Westbrook play off ball, it isn't really efficient. And there are rumors saying that they will trade James Harden, which I think is absurd. And if they acquire Joel Embiid and do have to give a 3 crucial key role player or even starting player, this can be something bad for the Rockets, because I believe Robert Covington as of right now is one of the best small ball forward in the league. He can shoot threes, play defense, everything. And Eric Gordon, absolutely amazing shooter. Austin Rivers, okay bench player, but because of the chemistry aspect for the Rockets will not do this. And for the Sixers, I really feel like the value of Joel Embiid is way more than the three players combined together. So I will not do this trade as the 76ers. But it would be really interesting to see Joel Embiid play for the Rockets. Alright, let's see with this one with the Sacramento Kings. So the Sixers will get Buddy Hield, a 2022 round pick. The Kings will get Matisse Thybulle, Al Horford, and a 2020 first round pick. This trade, absolutely yes, with no hesitation, man. Like I said previously, the Sixers are lacking a deep threat, and I believe Buddy Hield had a really high 3-point shooting percentage. I think it's either close or even above Steph Curry, which is absolutely impressive. And for the Kings, they will get Matisse Thybulle. That's a valuable piece right there. They've seen the playoffs. He played absolutely above my expectations as a rookie. And for Al Horford, though, that's something to consider because his contract is absolutely horrible. He's aging, his stats are falling, and for the next 3 years of $27.5 million, I really feel like that's something the Sixers should get rid of immediately if they want to get close to win an NBA title. And overall, the money matches up, but if the Sixers can pull this off, they'll be the winner of this trade. Alright, let's see. With the Chicago Bulls, wow. So the Sixers will get Lauri Markkanen, Otto Porter Jr., Zach LaVine, a 2020 first round pick, and a 2022 top 10 protected first round pick. And the Bulls will get Ben Simmons, Al Horford, and Mike Scott. Well, that's some big moves out there. I'm not sure about Ben Simmons because I believe he is one of the best court generals in the league right now. But I will say yes if I'm the Sixers. Lauri Markkanen, versatile big man, can shoot threes, post up, dominating the paint whatsoever. Plus, he is still on that rookie contract, which means the Sixers will have a lot of wiggle room with the cap space. Otto Porter Jr. Maybe he can play a 1-2 punch with Tobias Harris, but his contract is a little bit overpaid, honestly. But he has 1 year left, so that can be something to think about. And Zach LaVine, man, this dude is absolutely playing out of his mind right now. This year we can see he's not only a dunker, he can shoot threes in clutch moment, shoot mid-range, dominating the paint, feed the teammates, trends in the fast offense. So that's I think the most valuable piece in this trade. And also the 2 first round pick gives a lot of future to the Sixers. And in turn for the Bulls, Ben Simmons to the Bulls. So I'm wondering what would they do with Kobe White? Because Kobe White was, I believe it was last year's lottery pick for the Bulls. And it would be interesting to see how they pair these two dudes together. And same for Al Horford, because Carter Jr. of the Bulls is really playing at a high level right now. And even though these two dudes are not really the same style, but I feel like position wise this can create some kind of conflict as the big man, because one of Carter Jr. is still on his contract, and this kind of locked up the Bulls front cap space once again with the Al Horford's absolutely overpaid contract. And Mike Scott, a solid bench player. So overall in this trade for the Sixers, I will try to pull this off. Because Lauri Markkanen, Otto Porter, and Zach LaVine, that's really intriguing. But for the Bulls, I will probably say no, because all these 3 players are young, and all I'm getting back for them is Ben Simmons, which I wouldn't even know how the Bulls would use him. Al Horford, old Asian player. Mike Scott has 1 year left, average or below average player, so this can be interesting if they can pull this off. And the final one we got is with the Miami Heat. Oh my goodness. Wow. So the Heat will get Joel Embiid. Wow. And the Sixers will get Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Jay Crowder. Absolutely, yes. Of course, dude. Tyler Hero in this playoffs. Oh my gosh. If someone just watch him like without knowing him as a rookie, there's no way you can tell he's a rookie. No way. He's been like a veteran, you know, in clutch moment. I remember the 37 points game against the Boston Celtics. That was amazing. Bam Adebayo. This brother, I'm telling you guys right now, he will develop into one of the best centers in 3 years. This dude can play defense, blocking shots, and he also has a solid mid-range and great rebounder. One problem with him is three-pointer. If he can develop some three-point shooting, this dude is unstoppable. And Jay Crowder, the best 3D player in the league, can play pretty much guard anybody from 1 to 4. Can play defense on the perimeter. Can shoot threes. I mean, if I'm the Sixers, I'll pull this trade immediately. So think about it. Ben Simmons as the point guard, Tyler Hero shooting guard, Jay Crowder Jay Crowder with Tobias Harris, the 1-2 punch, and Ben Adebayo at the center. So they will probably find a way to trade away, Al Horford, because I don't want to put that massive contract on the bench. And for the Miami Heat, they get Joel Embiid, and they also have Jimmy Butler and Aaron Gordon Dragic, which is also aging. So for the Heat, I would say no, but for the Sixers, I would say yes without even blinking my eyes. Alright guys, so this is the 10 trade rumors. I really feel like some of the major topics are around either Joel Embiid or Al Horford, because these two big men are getting a lot of attention, and I feel like the Sixers really want to dump Al Horford, not gonna lie, no disrespect to him, but just because his contract is just overpaid 100%. And overall, with Doc Rivers' arrival to the Sixers, I feel like it's time to make some changes, especially on their bench, because their bench this year is absolutely horrible. I don't feel like they can rely on anybody. And in this year's offseason, there isn't many free agency, but I feel like they should also keep an eye on for the future and making sure they have enough cap space for next year, because there are a lot of big name that'll be free agent next year. So they should definitely put their vision in the future. So that's it guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and follow me on social media with all the link in the description down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Peace.